Hello there everyone and welcome back. It's time to get a handful more matches in with the town merchant fleet before I inevitably move on to something else. And I gotta say, I like the potential of the bastions and war spears. It just seems really simplistic, I gotta say. And a lot of people will probably attribute that to the bastions, the demiurge in general maybe being too ridiculously powerful when they get their cutting beam charged up. It is absurd, needless to say, when you have the potential to rip a battleship in two with just two of these cutting beams alone. Never mind the torpedoes that are there to help out. The Crude War Spear, I don't feel like I got the best use out of it, but I think I understand now the trick, at least to make its acceleration a little bit faster when changing directions. And hopefully I can explain that as we go into the matches. But what I have in mind here is I'm going to do two matches, ideally with the auxiliary fleet, and then I'll probably end off with the carrier version, which primarily is what you would expect with merchant fleet as a whole, since every single one of their ships, aside for the light cruisers, carry fighters of some sorts. Hell, even auxiliaries, I would argue too. The only thing I am a little bit curious about that I'm going to have to play test a little bit is figuring out the value, the use of these light cruisers. It's going to involve a lot of theory craft and in-thought examination of all these weaponry, mind you, for these are quite literally gunboats. They have no missiles, they have no fighter bays, they're strictly for gun platform firing. Was it? Very slow firing at that, considering they're the slowest, like most of the slowest battleships in the game, mind you, so it's kind of odd to see a light cruiser at this speed. So I'm a little bit stumped on how to use these, but to be fair, I haven't really utilized them in practice. It's a lot of theory crafting, but I'm excited to figure them out at some point. But nonetheless, the auxiliaries are fun enough as is, and with the carrier dynamic and a little bit of secret missiles, they still have a lot of power. So let's get started. Alright, Adeptus Mechanicus. We've already seen firsthand that I can kind of weather the storm really damn well, even when I'm not paying attention and my commentary is hindering my ability to actually spot, or at least hear, the Novacans. So I think it's safe to say I'm feeling really comfortable in this matchup. It just remains to be seen the caliber on my opponent, let alone I think I've seen the name Trigun before, I just can't remember where. So I hope it's going to be a good match nonetheless. It's going to be in their face without a doubt with two bastions, and the Crude War Spear is going to be doing pretty well. It's going to be susceptible to a spur of a battleship perhaps, but against cruisers and everything else I would happily ram them, especially on the side. But let's keep an eye on its main purpose, it's to protect the flagship. And with the maneuvers I've been experimenting with, this should be pretty good, hopefully. Otherwise, let me try and prioritize where is the best of my objectives, which is over these 3 points on the left. I don't know. The only problem with this kind of fleet composition is that my deployment is going to be heavily dictated by the placement of these asteroid belts, which thankfully is not a huge issue. Hell, I have enough freedom that I don't even need to use the ones that are in my deployment zone, in all honesty. So that's nice and convenient, but my warm-up match I had very sparse amount of asteroid belts. I was kind of forced to deploy the majority of my fleet over along the right side of the map against Tyranids, and I think there was only 2 objectives there, so thankfully it played out just the Tyranids coming for me, so that wasn't a huge concern, mind you, but it puts me in a bad tempo position. And let's see, Mechanicus, I'm just wondering upgrades, since I am talking too much and not really strategizing the best. But otherwise, it can be a little bit awkward sometimes due to the placement of these belts, since I want to make sure the bastions are able to provide support.
Drones have identified an enemy target.
So no upgrades on your hunters. That is good to note.
At your orders, Colonel.
And this strikes me as maybe, well, there's 3 frigates. I was able to equip 3 falchions for my fleet, so battleship 4 cruisers then? Okay, 2 light cruisers, oh my god. How many battleships are we looking at here, I wonder? I'm gonna have to launch a little bit more just to skip vision. Oh, and I never grouped the demiurge.
Demiurge ship at your
The more fighters, the better, in all honesty, to at least get me prepared. Otherwise, I suspect this has to do with battleships. How many battleships, though? I want to say, since they're light cruisers, that maybe there's 2 battleships. I don't see how they would have 3. Because I played against a 3 battleship fleet before, and that was basically all they could afford, aside for a couple of frigates.
We serve the Kovatra.
I need to be very mindful. Those spurs are still threat otherwise. Also, I'm getting a little bit too close to my hero, which, honestly, is probably not in the best position anyway for protecting my flagship. That's his main role, at least. But yeah, grab the points there. I want those frigates to kind of prepare to protect the right objective, maybe, if it does drag on. Let's see, you're fully charged, so get moving. And you have lances to help grab the points on the left. Hell, let me just launch some fighters. They have a mission, well, not a mission dissipator. One battleship. Okay. So let's try and destroy weapon components. I don't think I need to destroy engines. So I think I'm comfortable destroying the weapons for now. And with 2 fighters squadrons, I'm kind of okay with that. It's just a lot of point defense, so if I'm going to use the fighters in any sense, I have to launch them at the same time as my seeker missiles, ideally.
You have seized a strategic
And we know there's only a single frigate over there, so by all means, let's just get moving. We have them revealed. And main thing gotta be concerned about, getting hit by Nova cans, which thankfully there's only 3 Nova cans. So that's pretty good on my... That's pretty good there. I am revealed, did I? What got revealed anyway?
Brotherhood responding.
Alright. That's why I have 3 frigates going over there, so at least I can defend that point, since I have plenty of range to deal with everything else relatively well. I don't like this placement of the hero, come to think of it, but if I can get a good experimental railgun shot, that makes up for it.
You have seized a strategic area.
Good start there. Oh, I hit myself too, damn it. That I was not expecting too much. But can I fire seeker missiles?
Demiurge ship at your orders.
Just boost on forward, get out of that. Seeker missiles.
Survey
Oh, did I?
location.
Oh, stasis bomb. Stupid me. Alright, let's get moving there. We know what exactly is going to be coming here in a moment. And actually, these demiurges should be trying to go brute force towards the battleship, because that's a lot of its firepower after all. And let's brace for impact, because that's the main thing I want, is to murder these things well. Alright, we have a lot of speed, so please, the Nova Can basically tells me you are not moving. We gotta be mindful of... What is it? Hold that thought, because I need cutting lasers now. This is gonna hurt a lot. Although my charge did expire there, but so long as we murder this, that's fine. Can I fire seeker missiles? Oh yeah, I got vision, I got seeker missiles, so long as they hit the flagship. And not my ships, because I could turn and disengage. We just murdered that battleship, which is kind of what I was referring to a little bit on the ridiculous firepower that they have to bear. I am curious what the hell happened to the light cruisers that were supposed to be providing support. Because they would have been perfect for dealing with the seeker missiles at least, just not much else. Your engines are temporarily down, so... And sadly, I don't have a repair drone, but I can punish you nonetheless. And you have shields, actually, so you're good. I wish I had a hotkey for this cutting laser, though. I missed the ram, sadly. I wasn't honestly paying attention for much of a ram, but I have a cutting laser. This is looking good. Can I get a double... I hit my war spear once. Why not hit it again? I wanted a double hit in all seriousness, but that is still a damn good hit regardless. This, with what we're seeing of the cutting laser, it would be fair to say it's overpowered, especially since it's supposed to charge up with this debris, but I just checked before this actual recording and it actually does not work that way. This debris of the cruiser I just killed is not charged up my cutting beam, as it would suggest there in the second paragraph of the cutting beam shot. So if nothing else, that's a bit of a balancing factor, if only slightly. These things have ridiculous firepower and close, but as I hinted at, mentioned, it can be awkward to deploy them, and if you if you're paying attention to the map, since I have no way to constantly hide them, you kind of know the Demiurge are there at the very beginning of a match in all seriousness. Now, let's clean up. I'm sending these frigates over to grab this final point. It is fun nonetheless, it's just I need to play against Demiurge to really get a feel for how you can best handle that. And with the speed increase, it can be really problematic since those things are going 175 unit speed. And since they're cutting lasers on the prow, they're coming right at you, so even Chaos is going to have a difficult time keeping distance without a stasis bomb. So I would like to play against the Demiurge more. I haven't seen a lot of them in all honesty. And I think the few times I have, it's kind of with an awkward fleet, I think. Or I was playing Eldari or something that's really easy at evading them. I honestly can't remember though, to be perfectly honest. Okay, this may seem like an odd start to a match, but a lot of the reason is because I'm facing off against the Mechanicus again. And the reason I'm seriously considering putting this in the YouTube video is look at where the placement of the asteroid belts are. I have to actually put some effort in this match this time, it looks like. So we'll see if I'm just having the cutting beams carry me or if I can make this work still. Sure. If I just stall out and just wait to charge, wait until the Demiurge get to the asteroid belts, then I'm still perfectly fine. But it gives my opponents so much more time to get the position they want, the placement they want, and to be able to chip down and start weakening my fleet with their exceptional accuracy. So I feel like this works well for my opponent, at least if my Mechanicus games that I've had so far are any indication. So I feel like this might be worth trying, or at least demonstrating. Otherwise, my plan is pretty simple. I grab these 2 points. Maybe if I can, have the frigates protect that third one. Actually, I'm gonna have 2 frigates over there. They could deal with at least a frigate I want to feel. And then we'll move on forward. We'll see how this goes. And you are just going to make your way to the asteroid belt and see what you can charge you can get so far. I can at least fight for 3 objectives, so this is still a decent deployment. Do I seriously boost forward?
Emergency power to target.
I think I boost forward. Ridiculous as it may sound, I have the speed increase and I have the means. And this one looks... I'm trying to figure out what kind of fleet this is, if I were to be so honest. 4 ships. Normally we see 5 cruisers, so... Oh, this one's probably the actual battleship and 3 cruisers. Now I'm starting to remember what my fleet's actually capable of, to an extent. Although I am going to be very vulnerable to Novacans, but hell, with the sheer mobility and even the turn speed of these things, look, no high energy turn is even available for these ships, but 21-degree turn for crying out loud. It's a little bit silly. I should be able to dodge Novacans incredibly well. Let me just turn prow here and keep an eye out for possible frigates. I want to keep them over there, protect that third point ideally. I don't think I need too much vision for at least the bulk of their fleet. It's just the Novacans I need to be wary of since I'm walking into vision of that. And like I said, my opponent should already be able to deduce that these are Demiurge even without me having to boost, due to where they're going and what they're actually doing.
Stop, crew.
Now let me get completely invisible. They know where I'm at, but if they're not paying attention, that doesn't really matter too much. Well, now they know where I'm at, because I'm getting shot at. Or at least I'm shooting at them, but this frigate should die really quickly. And the lances are amazing because of their perfect accuracy, and combo that with the crew war spear having the tracking capability with its missiles. This is nice, simple, and clean. And again, I have 2 frigates here to kind of help deal with this. I'm just gonna wait till try and grab the objective here. Again, gotta pay attention to the dang Novacans. This is the perfect opportunity to get harassed. Even with just the slowing effect, mind you, which should be coming down at some point. But otherwise, let's see. Let's get fish in there and try and do it again with this one frigate. This one lowly frigate. And keep my eyes open. The crew war speed is going to be pretty susceptible, and I think I forgot about its mobility trait. It's a little bit... It's not like it doesn't quite turn on a dime, but if I were to do like a 90-degree turn and boost, it moves almost immediately there, as you can see, which can be pretty good since a lot of times... hold that thought. I want to try and murder this thing. Ideally, if at all possible. Although, conveniently, we have another one to shoot at. And they are fully charged. Perfect. I fear I may have accidentally let them leave too early. But that's good. They're not spotted. They are going to get shot at now, though, but... Can I hit this in any way at all? Since again, I have these two frigates that easily defend this point. They can deal with a single frigate well enough, I want to say.
Something to mine there.
Now, can we reveal this? And actually, keep in mind, experimental railgun. This is a good opportunity for this. This is where I'm talking about with the commentary, but at least it's only, well... The shields are still up. And I have really good speed, and turning radius is still pretty good.
Surveying location.
Can I get this out?
Mining ship underway.
I could get out those two Novacans. So, that was pretty damn good.
At your orders.
I lost focus on what I was doing. What was I doing? Trying to kill the ship, wasn't I? There. Now, let's try and get this in the way. I don't have a good convenient position for my secret missile, so we're just going to do a 90-degree turn. Nope. Crude War Speed is being a pain. This is a little bit of a mess, but we can fix this easily enough.
Ship at your orders.
All we have to do is hit the one ship here. And this could take the hits easily. I just wish I hadn't burnt all my combustion gauge, is the one downside on this ship. There. One dead battleship already, with 4 fire results, so... I can understand the arguments if you're watching this right now. That was really damn simple, wasn't it? I wasn't even paying attention to the secret missiles, but... Let's get firing. Actually, let's... Okay, now that I have my attention on that, off of that, let's get back to work. Which is killing this thing, so secret missiles, fighters... And bad placement for my own. Aww. I wonder what they're referring to.
Kill them for the Tau.
Yeah, that probably would be a good idea to go after the flagship, but in all honesty, was I doing a good job protecting from the macro cannons? I wasn't. I kind of tunnel vision a tiny bit there, focusing on the Demiurge and making sure they got their cutting beam in. So I honestly couldn't comment on that. But let's be fair. The battleship can just as easily dodge the Novacans. I quickly browsed over all my ships. Their turning race was all the exact same. And the battleship and cruisers all had the high energy turn to complement that. It's the fact that I'm not having the most convenient time actually listening for the Novacans. That's what's screwing me over. So in all honesty, I don't know if that would make too much of a difference, never mind the fact that I have even more health on that ship. Since the one benefit the Crew Warspeeder has is its heavy armor, but when you're going up against something like Novacans that ignore armor, arguably, the battleship here, the Explorer, is arguably more durable if I am fast enough on the reload, or not the reload, but the brace for impact. So I don't know how that would have played out. Ooh, orcs. And just to let you know, I'm switching on over to my carrier fleet, so this could go badly. Well, it depends what they're fielding. The Evil Suns suggest that they have mega cannons, if I'm inclined to believe. So this could go amazingly well since I could brute force through their point defense and start crippling them heavily. The problem though is the sheer amount of hit points I'm going to have to get through. I do have good durability for ramming, I just don't want to face off against their prow, that's the problem. So it's going to require a lot of good micromanagement to kind of hit their sides and ram them. So our orky friend is all over on this, so it should be interesting. I feel like this is going to be a tough matchup for me since again, I'm not equipped to kill things quickly like with my Demiurge fleet, so I need to hit them fast and hit them hard with these bombers. Which means these fighters need to be on their own cruisers, and I just sit back here and don't move an inch, arguably. I'm just wondering if I go so far as to spread my fleet across my entire deployment. So at least that way, if when they do reach me, and I start kiting them to an limited extent, I'm not risking losing my entire fleet over this. That's my thought process there. Otherwise, oh, did I change? Yeah, I swapped out the engagement angle. I want the prow. Repair drones might be useful. Might be is a key word there. I don't know if it's actually warranted. This is the one time I might actually switch it out. I just have so little experience with the gravity wave projector. This might be a mistake over the stasis bomb, if I were to be honest. It'll be interesting to see if nothing else, but I feel like the stasis bomb might be more practical. But let's give it a try nonetheless.
As the ethereals wish.
Now, simply put,
Barracuda shoals
we are
launched.
launching fighters on everything. I'm waiting a few seconds for the battleships to
Barracuda
get
shoals
launched at the same time, basically. So at least that way it's a nice little conga line almost. Maybe not. Maybe it's not really true. Although, did I really need a mission dissipator? I feel like I could have switched the upgrade out for something else. Since I'm going to be playing a pretty
At your
passive game
orders,
here.
Colonel.
I do not want to get close to them. Simply put. Although, how do I want to move? I want to do something to help me with my positional game. And it's possible these could just be frigates, since it's impossible to tell the speed difference outside of brutes and their battleship. If I were to be so
Aircraft
honest.
ready for orders.
The enemy has seized a
I
strategic
kind of
area.
dislike this playstyle,
You
but
have seized a
at least it
strategic
feels
area.
like I'm doing it wrong is why
You
I
have
dislike
seized
it.
a
Not so much it's
strategic
cheesy
area.
or
The
gimmicky.
enemy has seized
I
a
feel like there's
strategic
something else I
area.
could do during this downtime besides launching fighters.
The ethereals guide us.
I just honestly couldn't tell you what that is. I need to give myself as much breathing room as possible and start chipping down their fleet. And I haven't seen any fighters launching yet, although we know where the flagship is. So if these are mostly a dud, we know what we're going to be doing. I don't want to launch more fighters because I'm hoping to maybe launch my bombers this time around.
Drones have identified an enemy target.
Alright, so let's start focusing on ships.
Bombing run underway.
We have fighters on every single one of these. And
Drones
now,
have identified
let me
an enemy
try and cripple them. There's going to be, what, 8 cruisers if I remember correctly? And these do have torpedoes. Gotta keep that in
How may I
mind.
serve the tower?
And I don't honestly need these frigates for spotting
Gunners,
so
hold your
much.
fire. We
Alright,
serve the
we'll start
cause of
repositioning ourselves some. Just slightly.
the tower shall prosper.
Start making it a little more awkward for him. Well, my opponents can accommodate me. My 2 fighter squadrons are getting sniped down relatively quickly.
Aircraft
I thought I had a 3rd
reported.
fighter squadron. Where the hell is that at? Oh, it probably got shot down because it was closer to their flagship. Speaking of which,
Aircraft
now that we
ready
have
for
visual...
orders.
Aw. Well, it comes with the territory. The question is, can you optimize your damage potential? That's the real question. I want to go after this
Barracuda shoals launched.
and go after everything else. Aw.
At
This
your
is not going to be a
orders,
pleasant experience for me
The
there to
enemy
listen
has
through.
seized a strategic area.
Because I'm pretty much dead if he gets close to me. Simply put.
Corel.
Which is why I'm spraying out there. It comes with the territory of the merchant fleet. Although my bombers are getting sniped down, which... Did they actually do... Well, they did decent damage. I need to start focusing down the
How may
one
I
ship
serve
I
the
want
tower?
now. So where's my
To spread the
flagship?
greater good.
Let's start crippling the There's...
Core L ready.
I still got a ways to go, though, still.
Corel ready.
Well, this works out well for grabbing the
Magnetic drive
points.
engaged. We serve the Corvacha.
Burn retros on everything. Wait for fighter squadrons. Actually, I already have fighter squadrons going. And here comes their own torpedoes. So this I need to be mindful of. You could be boosting more if you're that worried. It is actually helping you avoid my fire some. God damn it, that was not what I wanted.
Bombing run underway.
Oh, and my fighters are getting baited by the
At
torpedoes.
your orders, Corel.
Alright, let's get this going.
On your position.
And I can easily dodge these torpedoes, some I don't need fighters for them. Just grab the points behind them, although I don't want you flying off like that, ideally. Engine's completely gone there, sadly. And, let's see. Point defenses are crippled some, but not quite entirely. Not yet.
At your orders, Coral.
But I can grab the points behind them, though.
How may I serve the tower?
Going to be tricky to do the damage I want. Because the one downside of having my cruisers all spread is that it actually spreads out my fighters quite a notable amount, too. Which doesn't do me a whole lot of favors. As far as, like, trying to get the damage in.
However, it will be so.
So I think I lost my window to try and attack the flagship, with that said.
Corel, ready.
But if you want to go after this, by all means, try and go after it.
By my sept, we shall attack.
And it is a battleship at least, so I do have that going for me as far as
Crisis teams,
this thing not suffering a lot of critical hits on me.
to spread the greater good.
And it is kind of a brute force type of orc fleet, so I can easily grab points behind them.
Serve the Kovatra.
And I have a mission anticipator, so I kind of was questioning that. Maybe I was wrong. Although going after a flagship does not really help me anymore in this regard.
Hunter gets the prey.
Getting the kills do help.
You have
Now,
seized
brace
a
for impact.
strategic area. The enemy has accumulated 25%
Get-
strategic points.
That is an interesting... Oh, that's the plasma bomb. They changed the visuals of the plasma bomb with that.
Strategic area.
Okay, and they have really fast turning speed, so let's be mindful of that when we do this maneuver.
You have accumulated 25% strategic.
And my engines just took a critical hit there. Well, I may have inadvertently just helped them there. Inadvertently, at least, but we got 4 points. My opponent's now trying to grab them, but can I preserve my fleet in any way at all?
Gravity driving.
The orcs may have less point defense than everything else, but at the same time, with the amount of ships they have, they also have the most point defense in a fake sense. Just because of the sheer amount of ships, depending on what they're fielding, mind you.
Gravity drive engaged.
And I can still turn this relatively well.
Ethereal sky.
I should still try to knock off their point defense to the best of my ability.
Enemy is seizing one of your strategic
And if I can kill the
areas.
flagship, that still helps me some.
Structural integrity compromised. Fire warriors, attack.
Yeah, let's see about grabbing this point in the middle. Is that at all possible?
Our flagship is gone.
Yeah.
Gravitic drive engaged.
This should do a good amount of damage here. Let's prioritize engines, maybe that way it'll get isolated some. That probably should have been something I've been doing to try and
The
maximize my
enemy has
damage.
seized a strategic
Point
area.
defense gone on that one ship, engine's permanently gone, so that helps a little bit to stop their abilities. With that said, I should prioritize more of their engines. A lot of their ships are crippled, so this isn't all terrible yet. I lost my repair drone. Or at least my, not repair drone, but projector wave.
To spread the greater
And I can
good.
kill these brutes. I may still win this since my opponent's not managing their spread out fleet the best.
The tower shall prosper.
Otherwise, I burnt all my combustion gauge, but I am currently hidden for the time being. And I'm trying to look. I want this. Okay, you repaired those point defense.
Honor the teachings
And
of
I can
love.
launch some fighters here. Kill off the
enemy
more of
has
the point
accumulated
defense, then we'll
50%
deal with the rest of them.
strategic points.
Ooh, and a mutiny for good measure.
Gravitic drive to maximum.
There.
Imperials wish.
Gotta be mindful, this could be a terrible mistake with the amount of ships that are coming my way. And losing all my frigates is terrible, so I don't want that to happen, so let's relegate ourselves to just maybe losing 2,
Spread the greater good.
because I am softening them up. The point defense are going to get shot down there, we just have this one that might be a nuisance.
The ethereals guide us.
Might be a nuisance, although I should have probably stayed in the gas cloud, but they have a beacon.
For Onva, it will be so. At your orders.
Alright, get everything moving.
Enemy is seizing
Ideally?
one of
Oh,
your
you're burning
strategic
retros.
areas.
Tauver shall prosper.
Let's get them all out of here. I could start killing them off, which can be pretty good. Your points of defense are almost gone. I think I'd rather just keep launching. Well, I don't have any more fighters as to catch. Since they're currently busy fighting there.
Well, ready.
You have accumulated 50%.
But if
of
I keep
strategic
crippling, maybe I'm
points.
good.
The enemy
Again,
has
just gotta
seized a
keep these
strategic
frigates
area.
alive. And ideally not
Honor
spotted.
the teachings of Vion.
They have a good amount of health here, whereas those ones are crippled. It's going to be a little bit awkward to chase down.
Honor the teachings of Yona.
But at least you're isolating your ship, but did you immediately have to critically hit my engines? This is a battleship after all.
As the ethereals wish,
Generators down there.
to spread the greater good.
Alright, dodge these torpedoes, minimize the critical hits,
At your orders, Colonel.
and try and finish this off for good measure.
Honor the teachings of
It is on fire, so there's a lot of my problems gone already.
Gravity drive to maximum.
And actually, let me get this other ship over there.
the Kovatra.
Start flanking, start killing. This is-
Shasta, triumph for the
Okay, I'm learning something useful here after this match, to an extent. Those bombers will probably kill those off. I have no fighters though, so I am basically going to be starting to run on
Drones
fumes.
have identified an enemy target.
To spread the greater good.
Now, what we're going to do, we're just going to get our little cape going.
The patient hunter gets
Although I don't think it's going to be good enough here,
will be so.
because flagship's going to be dead. They're all crippled there, most of them anyway. And again,
Gravitic drive
I think we're seeing the
engage.
fruits of our labor in a slow and odd manner.
Weapons hot.
Otherwise, I could grab the points. This could take
Preserve the covert.
outside. I'm gonna gotta be careful of. I heard torpedoes. Where are torpedoes? I took all those torpedoes, sadly. But I got my bombers back.
Imperials guide us.
I got more bombers here.
Bombing run underway.
Your engines are gone, sadly. So
At your orders, Koro.
let's just sit here and watch them take an eternity to kill off this flagship.
Ready for orders. For
This seems like the opportunity I should be trying to launch seeker missiles and all that. So lack of experience, I think, is the moral of the story here. And you're kind of accommodating me some. I am getting bored though, so this will be short-lived, but otherwise you have like no real damage.
activated.
Did my bombers just get shot down?
Guide us.
Well, this gives me the opportunity I want.
Boarding enemy ship.
The
Nope.
enemy is seizing one of your strategic
I kind of want to kill them, but let's grab the objective. This still can be close. Now it's getting a little bit awkward with the ramming damage.
Red lights on all panels.
It's on fire too. This is all sorts of fire, so that's still pretty good there. Can I kill this ship? I need to get my mobility first for that.
Ready. The ethereal
Alright, I think that dies just the fires. His engines is critically hit. I gotta stop taking more ramming damage, but mutiny helps.
for Anvar. It Aircast ready for orders.
Now, can we kill this off?
To spread the greater good.
Since I still have the frigates, they just...
Sporting enemy
I'm probably gonna be relying on my
Seized a strategic
on them a
area.
lot, though.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
I don't have my brace for impact, but it doesn't matter. I have the 83 armor ram.
At your orders, Koro.
And you are on
Gravitic
fire.
drive engage.
I've sadly had my engines down.
The enemy is seizing one of your strategic
So I'm gonna need
areas.
support for that ship quickly. So, is that enough damage? Yes, the fire's gonna kill that ship off. So I can
You have
support,
seized a strategic area.
and sadly, no bombers.
Gravitic drive engaged.
You have accumulated 75%
No engines, no
of
ramming,
strategic
so
points.
there's not a lot you can do, sadly,
We serve
as far as
the
damaging
Kovatra.
this. Besides your deck. Oh, I saw
As
it.
the ethereals
I
wish.
saw the emergency repair go on, and I tunnel visioned a tiny bit and never paid attention that there was still 20 seconds for the brace for impact. But
Honor honor.
This is still close. I need to grab the points, though.
Gravity drive to maximum.
Alvar shall prosper.
7 seconds.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Ah, dang it.
The enemy is close to victory by strategic points.
Yep, this is over, sadly. It was close. If I had better... Ooh, it might still die, but not quite. 4 seconds.
Ready for orders.
That
You are
was...
close to victory
It's close,
by
but
strategic points.
I could have done that better, I guess. Is the moral of that story?
For Anvar.
I somehow, in a weird sense, should have played that like an harasser. Is what I'm coming down to think. I was talking about how, at the very beginning, I felt like I should have been doing something. And now, after the fact, I understand what that is. To an extent. And if I had been doing that earlier, and tried to make my ships a little bit harder to hit, I don't know. I'm going to have to really look into that match to understand how I could have won that. Since I feel like I'm really at a loss of words. I'm trying to fill in commentary, fill in space, as it were.